So for me, Ramadan is the most spiritual time of the year. It's the perfect timing for me to reconnect with friends and family. It's the perfect timing to self-reflect internally and heal, if you want, like mind, soul, spirit. Also the perfect time to take control of your weaknesses, for me, I feel.
Well, for me, Ramadan means to me a period of abstinence. Abstinence from food, from eating, and also from certain behavior that you used to do. And it's also a moment for sharing some love to people around, yeah, being with friends and family, yeah.
Well, first of all, you should think of Ramadan as any other time of the year. So you don't have to deal with it as strange or we need to make massive changes. But that's on a personal level because we need to coach while we're training anyway, and you can't call in sick or, call in, you can't do class because you're fasting. However, for clients, you give them options to train. For me, I give them 3 options. So either right before iftar, so for example, like an hour before iftar, so that they can work out and then immediately after they can hydrate and eat or whatever, or immediately after iftar, provided that they don't have a big meal, or later on in the day, like let's say 3 or 4 hours after iftar, after they've done perhaps tarawih, their prayers, and they've sat with their families, etc., maybe at around 10 p.m. So when you give them options, they just find out what works best for them and their bodies.
For me, my training schedule is very affected by Ramadan, given that I train both Muslim and non-Muslim. And for non-Muslim, given that they finish work a little bit early, they want to start as well early, so I have to adjust my timing. And for Muslim people, they usually prefer to train after breaking their fast, so most of the time it's a little bit late time, yeah, past 10. That's where they feel more comfortable, more energized to train, yeah.
I feel like you really need to train your mind to accept the fact that you're going to be fasting for 15 hours, but then you get 9 hours to hydrate and eat everything that you can, and if you have like a sweet tooth or whatnot. But I feel like it's literally 90% mental. If you work on your mental attitude, you're sorted in Ramadan. Because I feel like if you keep, complaining, oh my God, it's hot, oh my God, I'm thirsty, oh my God, I'm hungry, I need caffeine, I haven't had my morning coffee, it just becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it will literally drag you and drain you. So I always tell everyone who asks me that moderation is key. You don't have to go all out every single day, have all the Arabic desserts, because that can really negatively impact, if you're trying to lose weight or you're trying to maintain your weight, because it's, at the end of the day, it's an equation. It's calories in and calories out. There is no reason whatsoever to be intaking extra calories in Ramadan. You just need to get in nutritious calories that will help you cope, and that's it. However, having said that, also not to be so hard on yourself and not be like, I can't have kunafa or atayef or all the Arabic desserts. You can have a little bit, as long as you mentally, make a mental note that, okay, so I've had 2 pieces of atayef, then I need to perhaps run for 15 minutes or half an hour. Just a balance.
For me, I think I would say that Ramadan should not be an excuse not to exercise. It's mostly an opportunity for people to really exercise because they have less hours, they spend less time working, so they have extra time, free extra time, so they should use it to exercise more. And also regarding the eating pattern, some people tend to go and eat junk food. That should not be the case. They're gonna use again the Ramadan to experience what we call intermittent fasting, yeah. And it's a good opportunity for them to adopt a healthy lifestyle and get the result they're looking for.
So first of all, everyone needs to understand that everyone is different. Like, I've worked with people who were perfectly fine working first thing in the morning while they're fasting, and then they go shower and then go to work and they have no issues with thirst. So this could be an option. Like, if you want to work right after Fajr, actually, some people do that when their bodies are still like hydrated, and sometimes, they have coffees and then they go out and they do their thing. So this is one option. The second option that I always recommend is directly before iftar, which is around like 6 p.m. here in the UAE, because immediately after you can go shower and then hydrate. Or if you have a very small meal, like, break your fast with water, dates, a little bit of milk or laban, and then go out for like a run or go have like a 45-minute workout in the gym. That's also a third option. And last but not least, what works for most people is like 3 or 4 hours after iftar. Like the body has digested the food, you've done your night prayers or taraweeh, you've watched your favorite sitcoms, and then you've gone out and you work out for as long as you want, and then you come back and then prepare for suhoor.
Well, as Manal highlighted, we are all different and you have different body, so you have to find what works well for you, But for the general population, what I would say is that the perfect time for training should be around 2 to 4 hours after iftar, And it also depends on the amount of food you eat during iftar. So give yourself a little bit of rest and go for training. Yeah. One of the challenges I've noticed with people fasting is that the first thing, they lack motivation. They don't have the motivation to train. And when they get that motivation, the second challenge is dehydration. Yeah, that's my point of view. How about you, Madam?
I feel like training in Ramadan is entirely a mental challenge. People tend to think that, because they haven't eaten and they haven't had water all day or coffee, then their performance is not going to be great. But I promise you, if you just put yourself in it while you're fasting, like an hour before or whatnot, or while you're fasting anyway, you'll just feel like, your mind will drive your body to do whatever you want, literally. People are concerned also about the water, which I completely agree with. But like I said, if your body can take it right before iftar, know that you will hydrate within exactly 60 minutes, which is fine. Otherwise, just try to maintain your training indoors and definitely not outdoors. Like, I would never suggest or recommend outdoor training, especially in the UAE. Like I said, temperatures go up to 40 degrees. It's impossible to train outdoors unless you're immediately going to go and hydrate, so right before iftar. I feel like, for example, I'm addicted to coffee. I feel like I struggle the first 3 or 4 days, literally first thing in the morning, you're not getting in your coffee. But then literally your body gets used to waking up. It's just the beauty of our minds and beauty of our bodies to accommodate to whatever you train your body to do, basically. And then also I feel like your stomach shrinks. So you might feel like towards the end of Ramadan, you're satisfied by much less quantities of food as opposed to the first week or whatnot. Like, you always see people going all out and, I had so much food, oh my God, I can't breathe. But then towards the end of Ramadan, it's like, oh my God, I feel like I've lost my appetite. And the science of it goes back to the fact that your stomach does actually shrink, So, yeah. I feel like this actually changes throughout the course of Ramadan. So at the beginning, people are like so reluctant to show up to the gym or come to workout sessions. But then once they've actually literally taken the plunge and showed up and felt the changes, the mental changes and the physical changes, they start to fall in love with it. And I feel like a shift starts to happen. And they're like, okay, you know what, I can actually start to do this. And I also feel like if people are focused like right from the beginning of Ramadan, like let's say for example somebody wants to quit smoking or wants to work out more or wants to eat more healthy, I feel like Ramadan is the perfect month to work on self-discipline, provided that you stay focused and stay true to your mission. And you need to write these missions down or whatever you want to achieve during Ramadan. So for example, you say that I will get a workout in at least once a day. I will refrain from sugar-laden desserts. I will try not to overeat, beyond a certain point or whatnot. So I actually feel like towards the end of Ramadan, if you're focused enough, you can come out a completely different person.
Yeah, she's right. As you say, at the beginning of the Ramadan, it's first week and it's hard. The body is not yet adapted and you don't have the motivation, the body feel tired. But as the Ramadan goes, the body gets adapted, they get used to that, and the energy comes back, and yeah. Regarding the nutrition aspect, I would say that, first of all, when you start iftar, they should not go heavy. Have a light meal like probably fruit salad, a couple of nuts, and one nut yogurt, cheese. So the aim is to go light for iftar, and then later on after the training, they can have a heavy meal. And the last one before sunrise, they can go for a lot of salad to make sure they have enough nutrient, vitamin that's going to help them to handle the day. And one of the key things is that they have to make sure they drink enough water, but not too much. Enough, but not too much, yeah.
I feel like nutrition in Ramadan, especially in the Middle East, is a big struggle because people don't understand that it's the time of self-discipline and training your body to not, go all out on food or whatnot. On the contrary, you're supposed to be very self-disciplined. So I would just suggest, like Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he used to just break the fast with, water, dates, go to prayers, and then come back and then have a light meal. So I know this is not the case, especially that Ramadan in the Middle East is based on family gatherings and friends and stuff. So, and it's like peer pressure, like, oh, have a little bit of this or have a little bit of that. So I would say moderation is key. Don't like completely eat to the point where you feel like, oh my God, I'm gonna pop or I'm gonna die. Please, please, please remember that your priority is water and not food. Because sometimes people drink so much and they're like, oh, well, now I've lost my appetite. Well, good, good, you've lost your appetite, good. It will come back once the water has flushed your body, and then you will regain your appetite and you'll start to eat properly again. I always also think of breakfast as breakfast. Like, we don't have a big bowl of rice or meat first thing in the morning, like salads, soup. Like for me, I always break with soup and salad, a little bit of chicken, or if you're vegan, you can just go all out on vegetables. So moderation. If you have to have dessert, try to go for healthier options. Like for example, for me, I love frozen yogurt as a healthier option. So it's a little bit of guilt-free. Or once or twice a week I can have a little bit of kunafa, because kunafa, honestly, it's a disaster. Kunafa, it completely ruins your body. Like for me, I've had the worst experience with kunafa in the past. Khalas, especially my mom's, right? It's terrible. So for me, like I said, always priority is water. Try to monitor how often you're going to the toilet as soon as you break fast or after iftar. So for example, if you feel like you haven't gone to the toilet for a couple of hours, this is a big red signal that you need to stop and to hydrate. Also, the color of your urine is very important. So you need to monitor. You need to be responsible enough to be able to make that judgment. Stock up on fruits. Just listen to your body. Make sure you get at least 3 liters, I would say, within the 9-hour window that you're eating and drinking after iftar. And you need to even double that maybe if you have worked out before iftar, because we lose so much water and you forget. You shower and then everything is back to normal and you're not sweaty anymore, so you forget how much you've sweat basically. So yeah.
What I would say when it comes to hydration, I would say that start and finish. Your first meal and your last meal should start and finish with water. Yeah. And then when you're having your last meal, it's very important what you're eating, because if you go for high carbohydrate food, that's gonna really consume all the water in your body. So you have to opt for salad, as I say, salad gonna help you to retain the water. And also to optimize it, just don't drink plain water. If possible, try to add something like lemon and like berries in your water. That's going to help you to detox and then feed your body with some antioxidant. Yeah.
I would say also just make sure that you stay away from spicy foods. as much as you love it and you've been craving it while you're fasting, but this is really going to negatively impact your tolerance to fasting the next day. Like sometimes when you've had a hot spicy meal or something very salty, you wake up and you feel like there's fire in your stomach, and too bad, because you will not be able to have water until until it's iftar time, which is like 15 hours later. So just be very conscious and mindful of what you're eating. Watermelon is great.
Actually,
yeah.
The meal, how's the name? The meal before sunrise, how do you call it?
Suhoor.
Actually, it's during suhoor, the key point when you when it comes to water retention, eat spicy, then you're gonna feel thirsty. Eat high carbohydrate food, you're gonna take all the water in your body, so
Yeah.
keep it light.
If I'm focused personally, and I tell people that as well, so if they put a plan, for example, to lose even 2 kilos, it's so easily done. Like I mentioned, your stomach shrinks, your body accommodates, lack of food and all the small nibblings throughout the day that we're used to. So if you're really focused, you can shed weight very easily in Ramadan. You come out so mentally more strong. Like I feel mental toughness is the #1 advantage of Ramadan, because you've done things you've never thought that you could possibly do. Like for example, you've attended a boot camp class, or while you're fasting you're like, oh my god, I've just done a 50-minute boot camp and I've actually survived. And sometimes the music distracts you, and then you come out and you feel so much stronger than you think.
Yeah, for me, one of the reasons I noticed at the end of the Ramadan, it's not mostly physical, it's mental, and more confidence at the end of the Ramadan when they manage to exercise the fit, more confident to carry on after Ramadan, and they are more happy because of that. And when they manage to lose some weight and shed some fat, they are more happy. Yeah, that confidence, that happiness is double.
Yeah, and it's the perfect time to stray away from bad habits as well. And if you're focused and you want to, for example, like I said, quit smoking or quit eating that thing that you've always been eating that's making you fat or whatnot, it's so easy to get rid of all these bad habits. And then you can start living like that right after those 30 days, and your life has changed completely.